Hallo und herzlich willkommen zur 72. Folge von Suzerain. Alleine, weil in unserem Aufnahmeplan die Suzerain-Folge für heute, also für Sonntag, irgendwie vergessen wurde. Vielleicht haben wir es auch, es ist noch früh morgens. Ich muss das jetzt schon aufnehmen. Ja, da schauen wir uns das erst an. There's a significant budget left in the Ministry of Health that we can spend on several different programs in order to improve healthcare in Scotland further. Funds could be used to create a medical scholarship, build a state-of-the-art medical school, give free eye tests or dental care. Dental Care wäre jetzt sowas wie Zahnmedizin. Give free eye tests. Nee. Build state-of-the-art medical school. Was heißt denn das? Aha. Also ich schwanke zwischen 1 und 2. Ich würde 2 nehmen. Country Overview updated. Keine Ahnung wo. Aber gut. Less Smoke Bill. Oh wow. The Assembly passes an amendment to the Tax Bill of 1944 in order to increase tax revenue and reduce the excessive amount of tobacco consumption in the general populace. Section 1 of the TB of 44, which had imposed a 10% tax on all tobacco packages, will be increased to 30% on all taxes on all tobacco products sold in the country. Section 2 will protect local industries by giving them a full tax exemption if the products are destined for exports to other countries. Mach mal. Rauch ne Scheiße. Sehr schön. Wir müssen hier nach Suzerain. Support Ashraf Anniversary. Junge, was ist das denn die Folge? The Remembrance Rally of Ashraf Anniversary is about to begin in Suzerain. The Bloodish movement is holding their largest rally yet to display their demands and strength. The administration can go to Suzerain to support the event with or without an armored convoy or not attend at all. Also wir werden hingehen und definitiv nicht ohne Schutz. Oh je. Wir werden sterben. After making a stop in Deir to meet with Governor of Bergia, Felix Bron, we finally arrived in the ancient walled city of Suzerain. More than 2 decades ago, the city gained particular importance for the Bloodish people due to the Isem incident, which was the reason for our visit. It was the anniversary of Isem incident and the death of Watani Ashraf. The event took place in the aptly named Isem Square, just several blocks away from the site of the tragic Isem incident, which currently lays under Lake Sol, together with the ruins of the sunken city. Fucking Sol hat doch nur einen See. We drove an armored personal carrier carrier-wearing flag vests as we entered the city's old paved streets, between its rundown buildings. Our massive convoy could barely fit through the narrow streets, disrupting local traffic and creating a noisy chaos in this normally tranquil city. The passers-by looked upon us with fear as we drove with heavily armed security forces towards the square. I must say this was a good decision, sir. This will help ease the tension, but I hope bringing this much security won't cause any problems. Better safe than sorry. I hope so. Yeah. Better safe than sorry. I agree. We are almost there. I can hear the crowd. I hear the chants and shouting from outside. Lucian leaned in closer to the window, listening to their voices. They are telling us to go back where we came from. We approached the large crowd that assembled in the square. There were probably at least 10,000 people. Most of them were yelling profanities and obscenities at me. As our convoy slowed down, a young bloodish man ran in front of our vehicle and spat on the window I was looking out from. Signal the security to detain him. Do nothing. Do not do anything. Wir machen nichts. I did not do a thing. Our vehicle came to a stop. The security detail left their vehicles with their machine guns openly displayed. I followed them. The crowd seemed to be riled up at the sight of guns. We were greeted by Mansoon Leakey. He wore a coat over his suit, which was marked with red and turquoise stripes of the Bloodish Movement's flag. He moved forward to greet us. Welcome to Suzerain, Mr. President. It looks like I'm not welcome here, Mr. Leakey. No need for pleasantries. I want this done as quickly as possible. Raise his hand in a display of unity. Shake his hand. Rennen ist schwer. We're shaking his hand. He pointed at the security guards with guns. I'm not sure how bringing your personal army will help. They are not my personal army. They protect the government. They are here for protection. Let's go. They are here for protection. Protection from your own citizens? I guess there must be a reason to be fearful. On a day like this, when you want to show support for the murdered bloodish people, you bring men with guns? I don't know what your intention is, but I only ask of you to at least be respectful to the procedures, Mr. President. Let's just move on, Mr. Leakey. Watch your words. You're speaking to the President. My only intention is to stand solidarity with our bloodish people. He raised an eyebrow. Mr. Leakey. Mr. Galate, welcome. Shall we move into the sanctuary then? Let's go. We started making our way into the Suzerain sanctuary, which stood at the end of the square. A much smaller replica of the Arch Sanctuary in Dea. This building emanated a mystical aura due to its age and its blackened walls. We entered the building through the ornamented large metal gates. As we walked, the noise of the crowd started to fade out. Everyone started to get quiet for the ceremony. thousands of candles were burning inside the sanctuary, one for each person that died in Islam. The red candle at the center was for Wetani Ashraf. Mansoon gestured towards the candles. I did not pick up a candle. Instead, I let Mansoon lead the way. He faced swords. He picked up the candle for Ashraf and started walking out. Many others followed suit, including us. The atmosphere outside had completely changed. The crowd was now completely silent. We slowly walked towards Ashraf's grave. On the way, hundreds of people joined with us. Some people started shooting at me, breaking the silence. One man who managed to break the security cordon started running towards me and screamed, "You cannot defile our traditions, you racist dog. At least have respect for the dead." Before he could get to me, the security forces grabbed the man and dragged him away. Mansoon looked at me with a mix of fear and anger in his eyes, but he knew better not to speak. When we arrived, Mansoon lit the unlit candle above the grave. I turned around and realized the sheer amount of people who were following us. They were all looking at me, waiting to hear what I would say. My fellow citizens, we are here to mourn Watani Ashraf and many others who have lost their lives. We are here to mourn those who tragically lost their lives in Islam. Also eins. I'm not standing before you today as the president. I'm standing here as one of you. They have brave men and women who only wanted to protect the land. I condemn the events that led to the death of these people, of these lives. Das Wort weiß ich jetzt gar nicht. Condemn. Verurteile. Despite the attempts to divide us, our people will stand as one. We are swords, we are bloods, we are all united under the one flag. I share your hatred and anger. I feel it too. I assure you, like a red-hot metal. It takes a long time for it to cool down. But I look at the lost lives and think, what would they want? I assure you, this administration will do its absolute best to mend these wounds. Ich weiß nicht, ob eins so gut ist, aber eins ist, glaube ich, das Beste, was wir machen können. An old man from the crowd yelled, "Your flag, your nation." Let me finish. Don't play into the hands of the separatists. United we stand, divided we fall. Let me tell you one thing. I dream of a swordland, a truly united swordland. A country where being a blood or sword does not matter. We are all the same before God. Remember the words, love thy brother and thy sisters. We must always stay together in the face of adversity, against all odds. Das ist das Beste. I feel responsible and ashamed for the actions of my predecessors. Most of all, I feel the desperation to remove this black mark from our history. Let this be a testament of our unity for the future generations. Let's stand together as bloods and swords. Mistakes were made in the past. Innocent people of Islam paid the price. But we cannot let the past divide us. Gott. Bin einfach nicht ganz wach. Ich brauche ein bisschen länger heute. Ich würde sagen 2. Müssen zusammenstehen. I need help from each and every one of you to make this country a better place for everyone. The responsibility falls on all of our shoulders, because we don't have anyone but each other. Thank you. Morning will come. There was no reaction from the crowd, only silence. One man broke the silence and shouted, "Do not listen to murderers," and threw a tomato which hit the ground right in front of me. "You cannot claim that you support us after trying to kill our language. What were you doing in Welland against our people? You're responsible to the death of thousands." Immediately after that, the whole crowd joined in with him. Lucian looked at me worryingly. People started walking closer and closer as they chanted, "Yolak Blooderet." I was immediately surrounded by the security detail I had brought with me. They had drawn their guns and pointed at the approaching crowd. "We must leave, sir, now." I was about to adhere to Lucian's direction, but someone yelled, "Yolak Blooderet," and dashed towards us with a knife. Suddenly, the guards fired their machine guns. I closed my eyes. There was nothing but silence. I gathered up my courage to open my eyes again. I looked at the crowd. The man had fallen to the ground. The crowd panicked and began to run away. I saw another body on the ground behind him. It was a boy. A woman, probably her mother, fell on her knees right next to him and caressed his head. Her scream pierced the panic. Alter. Hätten wir die Security Guards nicht mitgenommen, wären wir tot. Make sure he's okay. Everything devolved into utter chaos, and we lost control of the situation. Circled by the guards, I was escorted to our vehicle immediately. I heard more gunshots as we drove outside Erschien. What? Mehr Gunshots? Ich weiß gerade nicht, was ich sagen soll. Alter. Okay, that escalated quickly. Aber das war's für die Folge. Lasst so ein Like und ein Abo da, wenn es euch gefallen hat. Schaut beim nächsten Mal wieder vorbei. Und tschüss.